Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and this video is possibly the start of a new series on my channel where I'm going to be recommending books to you guys based on emotions and feelings. Now, I'm a complete mood reader. I read books based on what I'm feeling at the time, and I try to find books that might help me with in dealing with those emotions that I'm feeling at that time. And so that's why I thought that these videos and this series might be helpful to you guys so that you can also choose books based on how you're feeling and books that might make you feel better in those circumstances. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on feelings of sadness, loneliness, stress, anxiety, all those things. And trust me, books have helped me so much whenever I'm feeling anxious, whenever I'm feeling stressed, whenever I just want to sort of like run away from the world and escape. Like, books are that escape for me, and I truly believe that these books can be that escape for you as well. So yeah, let's get started. The first emotion that I want to focus on, you're feeling sad, you want to cry, but you can't cry. And so you just want something that will help you to cry it out, to let out all of your emotions. Those are the books that I'm going to be focusing on. The first one is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Now, this book basically destroyed me, like completely and totally destroyed me. This book will fill you up with a lot of anger. It will fill you up with a lot of emotions, and it's guaranteed to make you cry. It's guaranteed. Like, it's that perfect book that will get that cry out of you, because there is no way that this book won't make you feel things. There is absolutely no way. This book basically follows two main characters, Laila and Mariam, and they are two women who are living in Afghanistan at a time where the country is just in political turmoil. There's war, and basically it talks about how all of those circumstances affect their lives and how the lives of these two women sort of intertwine because of these circumstances in Afghanistan. And it's just heartbreaking and heart shattering and soul crushing. And yeah, 100% will make you cry, 100% will make you feel something. Read this book if you haven't. Like, what are you doing with your life? Read this book. The next book that I want to talk about is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and this is another one that is based on tragedy, and this is set in Germany during World War II, so it's basically Nazi Germany. And it talks about this German family who has decided to hide a Jewish man in their house, and the turn of events that happens because of this, and basically how their lives are affected because of this decision. And the really interesting thing about this book is that it's told from the perspective of death. Now, of course, Nazi Germany was a time, because of World War II and of course because of the Holocaust, there was just so much death and devastation happening in Europe. And so to read this from the point of view of death was just such an interesting experience. And again, it's a tragedy. It's a book that's very human, just like A Thousand Splendid Suns. Like, both these books deal with a bunch of human emotions. It deals with how humans sort of survive at the end of the day, even when there is so much death, devastation, tragedy happening around them, how humans basically persevere and they survive. I think if you're looking for two books that will just definitely make you feel something and get the stuck emotions which are there in you out of your system, check out The Book Thief, check out A Thousand Splendid Suns. They will definitely help. The next emotion that I want to deal with is when you're dealing with loneliness. And I have different sort of like a variety of books to recommend for this prompt. The first one is Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. Now, this book I feel is perfect when you're feeling very alone in your anxiety or in your depression, or if you're feeling very lonely because you feel like you're the only person dealing with a certain issue or dealing with issues in your life, then I think this is a great pick me up book that will reinforce a feeling that you're not alone. There are a lot of people around you who will be feeling similar things to what you're feeling, who will be dealing with issues in their own way, in their own life. And so I feel like this book will help counter those emotions, especially when yeah, to make you feel like you're not alone in whatever mental health issues you are dealing with. This book is extremely funny. It is very, very heartwarming, and it's extremely light-hearted as well. And so I think if you're dealing with anxiety and you're dealing with that sort of loneliness, this is a great book to read. It basically follows this highly incompetent bank robber who enters a cashless bank and tries to rob it. And basically, this leads to like a very strange, out of the blue hostage situation. And so, the way the bank robber and the hostages sort of interact with each other leads to these revelations of how all of them are dealing with their own issues in life and how each of them sort of comforts each other in that space. So, yeah, very heartwarming book. Definitely, definitely check it out. The next book that I want to talk about is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This book also deals with loneliness, anxiety, and just basically coming of age when you are dealing with these issues. So it follows our main character, Charlie, who has just entered high school. And so it follows Charlie's life as he basically discovers, like, he finds himself, he finds out what his place is in society, and he makes new friends in high school. And it documents that entire journey. And I think, especially if you're a young adult and you're dealing with these feelings, this is a great book to read. It's written in the form of like letters. I don't know if you can see, like, it's written in the form of letters, and it's basically Charlie writing to his journal, if I remember correctly. And so I feel like like this entire book is a very cathartic experience, especially if you're dealing with these emotions. So highly recommend. Check it out if you haven't. The next book that I recommend is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. And I think this book is perfect if you're dealing with loneliness because you feel like you are different from other people. Like if you feel that people just don't understand you, people don't get you, and you're feeling lonely because of that, I think this is a great book to read because it will make you feel so empowered in your quirks and the things about you that make you you. I think to be able to embrace that, this is a great book. This book basically follows Christopher, who is a teenager, and I think it's not explicitly mentioned in this book, but I think he's autistic, and because of this, basically a lot of people don't understand him. A lot of people don't get him. But the empowering thing about this book is that Christopher sort of owns that. And what this book tries to sort of portray is that it's not Christopher's problem that he's different from others, it's society's problem. And I know that this book basically talks about someone who has a neurological disorder and that's why they feel othered in society. But I think you can take that message and be like, you don't need to change yourself to fit into society. You don't need to change yourself to fit into society's norms. It's okay being who you are. And I feel like this book will empower you to do that. So yeah, that's the message I took from this book. So check it out and let me know in the comments what you guys think. The next prompt that I want to focus on is if you're feeling heartbreak. And the first book in this category is The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamli. Now, this book follows our two main characters, Roya and Bahman, who meet in a stationery shop in Tehran, in Iran, and they fall in love. And it talks about their love story, but also the situations in their life as well as the political turmoil that's happening in Iran, how that sort of rips them apart, and basically how they have to deal with their unrequited love. The feelings of heartbreak and the feelings of having to sort of move on and like pick yourself up and be able to then build a life for yourself after you've dealt with such immense heartbreak. I think those themes are explored really well in this book. And if you're feeling those emotions, I think you should definitely check this book out. The next book that I recommend is Climate by Whitney Hansen. This is a collection of poetry. So it's a collection of poems, and it basically deals with heartbreak. It basically deals, if you're in a situation where you've just gotten out of a toxic relationship, if you're in a situation where you've just like you need to find yourself again after dealing with a highly like a relationship that's sort of taken everything from you, then read these poems. They are so relatable. They deal with a lot of feelings of loss, feelings of regret, feelings of emotional upheaval, any emotion that you deal with when you're dealing with heartbreak, when you've just come out of a relationship, then I think this book is just extremely relatable, deals with all of that, and will make you just feel seen, make you feel heard, and will give you a lot of validation for your feelings. So definitely check out this book. It's just very cathartic. And the last book that I want to recommend in this category is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I recently found out that Happy Place gets a lot of hate on the internet, and I don't understand why, because this book was just so therapeutic. The reason I feel it gets hate is because people go into it thinking that it's just going to be a romance book, like a nice, fun, steamy romance book, and it's so much more than that. I feel like, especially if you're dealing with growing up and becoming an adult and the feeling of losing out on the time in your life where friends were the biggest part of your life, and you're having this like extremely fulfilling relationship, and how your life sort of revolved around that relationship and your friends, and then when you sort of lose that just because of adulting, because life takes over, your job takes over, maybe family situations take over, you have kids, and like now you don't really have time for your friends anymore. That feeling of loss and the heartbreak that you feel because of that, this book explores that so well. I know that a lot of people in their 30s feel this a lot. So if you're going through that, definitely check out Happy Place. I think you will, again, just feel very seen, feel very heard, and it will heal a part of your heart when you read this book. So yeah, check out Happy Place. I absolutely adored this book, and I think you will too. The next prompt that I have is when you feel so crippled with stress, anxiety, sadness, anything, that you just want to run away from this world. Like you want to escape, you want to go away, you want to go to some place where nobody knows you. That kind of feeling. My escape in that case is generally books. I find myself just getting lost in a different world, meeting different characters, trying to understand their emotions, and that's my escape. And if you're like that, then these three books I think will help. The first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is one of the most atmospheric books that I have ever read. And if you're looking for a book that will transport you to another world, to another place, a place that is just filled with magic and mysticism, and just like, yeah, a place that just makes you kind of like the feeling that you might have had when you read Harry Potter for the first time and you like really wanted to go to Hogwarts. That sort of feeling, like where you just want to go to this place that's just so magical and amazing. And yeah, where you escape from your reality for a while. Definitely check out The Night Circus. The way that this circus is described in this book is so beautiful. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have already read this book. It's super famous, it's super hyped. But if you haven't read The Night Circus yet, please check it out. It is just one of those beautifully imaginative books that will transport you into a different world. The next book that I want to recommend is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I was going to say Andrew Weir for some reason. By Andy Weir. This book is literally about going away from this world. Like it's literally about being in space. And so if you feel like you want to escape this entire earth, then definitely check out Project Hail Mary. This book is a science fiction book, and it basically talks about a situation where Earth is in danger. There is this Project Hail Mary that has been set up to basically save the Earth, and we have our main character who wakes up on a spaceship, has temporary amnesia, and finds out that everyone else of the crew is dead. And basically, it's up to him now to finish the Project Hail Mary and save the Earth, but he's also lost his memory. So it's a wild ride. It is an extremely gripping book. It is also surprisingly very heartwarming. It is a book that will just make you go, oh, like so many times, but it's also the perfect escapism book. And so also a great book when you're feeling sad. The next book that I'm going to recommend, I don't really know if it fits in this category or if it should be in a category of its own, but it's basically that feeling when you just want to give a big FU to the world and the universe, because nothing in this universe makes sense, nothing in this universe has any meaning, And when you feel like that, then definitely read The Stranger by Albert Camus, because that is exactly what this book is about. It's about absurdism, which is basically that there are things that happen in this universe, there are things that happen in the world that don't make sense, that don't really have a meaning, and it's okay to not put a lot of emphasis, a lot of meaning to what's happening, because when you do that, when you kind of have that sort of detachment with things which are happening in the world, you protect your peace and your mental health. Like, yeah, those are the themes that this book explores, and I feel like when you are in that space, I guess it's sort of like existentialism sadness. When you're in that phase where you just want to give a big fu to the world because the world has no meaning, read this book. I feel like your thoughts and feelings will be validated. And yeah, it was a very, very interesting book when I read it. It also, I guess, talks about themes of morality, and like when you look at the world with the fact that the world should have things which happen in the world need to have a meaning, it needs to mean something, then your spectrum of morality also sort of changes. If you're looking for something which covers the existential meaning of life, then check this book out. I think it'll really help. Now, speaking kind of like the flip side of that, and if you're feeling sad because you've completely lost faith in humanity, like if you just feel that human beings are shit and you don't like what's happening in the world right now, and if you're feeling sad and burdened because of that, then here are two kind of pick-me-up books that might restore your faith in humanity. The first one is The Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society, and this book basically talks about a group of people coming together when Guernsey is occupied by the Nazis. How these people basically defy the Nazis and come together, firstly to form a book club, which I think is very cute and sweet and amazing, but also using the book club, how they defy the Nazis and kind of help their community and help their society. And it's a very, very heartwarming book. There's also a romance bubbling in these pages that is very sweet. And yeah, I think it just talks about humanity and about human beings helping each other in times of difficulty, and it will restore your faith in humanity. Honestly, I feel even The Book Thief is a book that will restore your faith in humanity in a way, but I feel like Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society is just that complete pick-me-up, cozy book that will make you feel that human beings are not shit and there are good human beings out there. The next book that I want to recommend is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Now, this book follows our main character Linus, who works for the government in a fantastical universe. And basically, he's a caseworker in the department which deals with dangerous magical youth. So there are certain young people in society who are deemed dangerous by the government, and they are extremely discriminated against. And so now Linus basically has to go to this orphanage which houses 6 of the most dangerous magical youth in the world. And he has to basically see what's going on in that orphanage and whether that orphanage should shut down or not, whether it's being run based on the government's code of conduct, kind of. And Linus himself, because he's a part of the government, has his own bigoted thoughts against these magical youth. And over the course of the book and over the course of interacting with the orphanage owner as well as these 6 extremely lovely, adorable children, you get to see how Linus breaks his own feelings and emotions towards these magical youth, how he changes his thoughts and he comes around and realizes just the harsh discrimination that these youth face. When you see this sort of when you see Linus sort of break his own norms, break his own thoughts, and how he comes around, I feel that's a very, very powerful, moving part in this book. And if you've lost faith in people and society and you feel like nobody can change their bigoted thoughts, then this book might give you a little bit of hope that is possible if you deal with these people. At least some of them, not all. There are some bigots who just you can't deal with. But the people who are kind of maybe have somewhere in the middle, if you deal with them and you talk to them with love and respect, there might be a chance that they come around and stop their hate and bigotry. So yeah, great book if you're feeling like sad because you feel like people are shit. Not all people are shit. Some people are, but not all. The next category is when you're dealing with the stress of adulting. The first book that I recommend is A Psalm for the Wild Build by Becky Chambers. I've spoken about this book quite a bit on my channel. But if you're going through that quarter life crisis where you don't really know what you want to do with your life, you don't like the job that you're in, you don't know like the course that your life has to take when you're dealing with those emotions, like where you're dealing with the stress and anxiety of not knowing what you want, but you're stuck in the grind because capitalism. But when you're feeling that way, read this book because it is just like this warm hug. This book feels like a warm hug because again it'll make you feel so seen and heard and validate all of your emotions and will let you know that things are going to be okay. Even if you're feeling this way, things are going to be okay. You will find your way in this world. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you want a book that just like wraps you up in a hug and makes you feel this way, check out A Psalm for the Wild Build. It was very, very cute and special and heartwarming and amazing. The next book is Mitch Albom. The next book is Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. And this is basically a book about Mitch Albom, the author, reconnecting with one of his favorite professors, who's Maury. And his professor basically has ALS, which is a degenerative disease, and he's essentially dying. And so Mitch reconnects with him, and the conversations that they have and the lessons that Maury imparts to Mitch in these meetings towards the end of his life. That is what this book is about. And it is just, again, extremely moving, very, very heartwarming. And it reminds us to look at the bright side of things. And I know that sometimes when you're dealing with stress, you don't want someone to be like toxically positive, but this book isn't toxically positive. I think it's a reminder of when you're in the hustle culture, when you're in like that mode where you just have to like grind and work and whatever, you forget about what makes life beautiful and you forget about what are the important things in life. And this is just a very gentle reminder for those things. It's not like in your face. It's not like you guys, if you've been on this channel, you know I don't like self-help books which just like put lessons in your face and be like, this is how you should live your life. This book is not like that. This book is very gentle, it's very caring, it's very loving, and yeah, it's very, very therapeutic. So again, if you're struggling with hustle culture and you just want a reminder that life is actually beautiful, check this book out. And the last category that I want to talk about is if you're dealing with grief. And again, that's a very difficult emotion to deal with. And I know that it can be, again, extremely crippling and sad. And like sometimes it's irrational, like you don't know how to behave when you're dealing with grief. But these two books might help. The first one is The Perfect World of Miwako Sumida, and this basically it basically talks about how two friends deal with the loss of Miwako Sumida, who has committed suicide. Like when you lose a loved one to suicide, sometimes it's very difficult to understand why. It's very difficult like to wrap your brain around the fact that you don't know why this happened. And also in this book, Miwako Sumida's life was essentially perfect. Like people thought that she lived a great life. And so again, to wrap your head around the fact that you might not know what someone is dealing with and how you deal with that, how you process all of those emotions of not really understanding what might be going on in someone else's life, of not understanding why someone would do this, and to process all of those emotions of grief and everything. I think this is a great book that will help you do that. So definitely check this out if you haven't. And the last book is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is also just a great book in trying to understand all of the emotions that come with grief, because it's not just sadness. There is a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, there is a lot of being stuck. And the way that Patrick Ness has dealt with this is that the monster that visits our main character in this book, I don't think he's a personification of grief, but it's a tool with which our main character kind of understands and processes the grief that he is feeling of seeing a parent kind of slowly progress towards death. And yeah, It was an extremely powerful and hard-hitting book. I cried my eyes out when I read this book, and I feel it might be very therapeutic and cathartic for some of you who might be dealing with this. So definitely check it out if you haven't. So yeah, these are all my recommendations. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like I covered a lot of books, but there are so many emotions to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be continuing with the series, hopefully, and I'll be dealing with like happier emotions in the future, as well as like inspiring emotions and stuff. And so stick around, subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this. And yeah, leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys thought. And yup, that is it for this time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.